everyone, and welcome to Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. How is everyone doing today? My name is Sharice Johnson Moore, and I want to welcome Marielle De Vassoigne. Is that how we pronounce that?
It's good enough for an American accent. The French pronunciation of it is Marielle de Vassoigne. So
Oh,
Marielle
De Vassoigne.
think swan, the
Uh-huh.
bird, de Vassoigne.
Yes.
That's
Okay,
it.
Marielle De Vassoigne. Did
That's
I say
it.
that?
Thank
Okay.
you.
All right. All right. I'll get my little French lesson on here in a minute, right? So, uh, and I wanted to, welcome everyone to Authors Extra Sunday and our special guest, Miss Marielle De Vassoigne. And she, after spending half of her life in Montreal, Miss Deborah Swan moved to Vancouver in January of 2021. Just like her lead character, Maxine, she was born in France and grew up in Martinique, a French Caribbean island, before moving to Canada. Mariel is an organizational change management consultant working in project management teams as a coach and a published author since 2022. An organic writer, her novels are the outcome from her many experiences, and the stories have been influenced by her core beliefs that a rich life is filled with kindness, courtesy, and exploration, as well as values of diversity and inclusion. Finally, she identifies as a LGBTQ ally, and her books reflect her core beliefs. In the rich life is filled with kindness, curiosity, and exploration, as well as variety of diversity and inclusions. Her first book is entitled New Beginnings in Vancouver, and the sequel to the New Beginning in Vancouver is New Beginning in Vancouver, and it is a sequel novel. It is two books, and it has all of the I say it, nuances of learning how to, you know, um, grow in a new place that you're living, and uh you know going out and venturing and finding new places to go, and loving the environment that you're in. And um I have read the bio or the synopsis of the book, and it's it's very interesting to me. So, Miss Marielle, welcome, 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 welcome. So, what brought you to the life of an author?
Thank you so much, Shari, sorry. Just to correct, the sequel is called Choosing Love Over Pride in that series. Yeah.
Okay.
And I never thought I would write a book, honestly. But I needed to write down and to create narratives when I decided to leave Montreal. So that's how I
Okay.
started to write bullet notes and organize that in, oh, that could become a full story. And then people were
Hmm.
curious. So I published. That's how I became a writer.
Okay. So, um, have you during your writing process, was it difficult to keep up with your plot or your sequence? Was it hard or was it easy?
It was, it's been both hard and easy. So at the beginning, when I was just writing and letting myself flow with creativity, it was pretty easy. And then the characters took over. So they got me to change the narrative a few times, and I had to dive
Hmm.
in their world and just let them lead.
Oh, okay, okay. I know how that is as an author. Currently writing my third book, and it is a fiction sequence book. And you let your characters flow, and and then you have these ideas that pop in your head, and you be like, okay, I gotta write this down before I forget it. And it's like, okay, now where I'm going, and then you write it down, and then you say, well, where I'm gonna stick this in the book, and then it comes to you later on where you put the what you might have, like, notes, or your notes and things, like, okay, well, I'm gonna put this in chapter 2 in the third paragraph, and and then it all comes together. And uh so give us more detail of your first book.
Of course. And that's exactly how you described it. In the first group, I remember I was in Montreal and I just realized I refused a job offer in Montreal. So I was heading to Vancouver. And then I say,
Uh-huh.
okay, don't know that city. I never been, I don't know anyone. So what
Hmm.
could my life there be? And then I
Hmm.
realized that that life could be whatever I want. And what don't I
Hmm.
have now in life and could
Hmm.
ask for or create.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's gonna come to me. So it really
Yeah.
started kind of a manifestation exercise, and then the fiction took
Hmm.
over. So
Hmm.
I just like you say, writing. Okay, bullet points. I'll bring a romance, but it cannot be always La La Land. So we need some intrigues, and we need some good and bad real life stuff. So that's how it flows.
Yes.
Um,
Yes.
and then I grew attached to those characters I created. They had their own personality, so they led me to another way. Another
Hmm.
another thing that influenced a lot the way I wrote that new beginning in Vancouver is one
Hmm.
quote I always had in my career is one day I'll stop consulting. This is energy consuming. At the end of each year, it's really energy consuming. And I was a workaholic back then. And I was saying,
Hmm.
I'll stop working in projects. I'll sell flowers. So my lead character
Uh-huh.
is an entrepreneur owning a flower and tea shop. That's who she is, former consultant. It started like that. But then this whole
Oh, okay.
story is totally different from me. It's not me at all.
Uh,
And
okay.
I was also influenced by music. I love music. Each time I hear this meaningful song, I was, there's something there. So I added some of
Okay.
that in the narrative.
Okay. So, in the second book, how did that come about?
Haha. It's a totally different experience. The first one you discover I was discovering writing. I was researching, going
Hmm.
to master classes. I don't have the pretension
Hmm.
to be an author, it just came to me, it's organic. But I wanted to
Hmm.
share. The second one, I had feedback from editors about the way of doing things, and I wrote in English. French is my native language. Even if I've been working
Okay.
in English, it's not the same. So for the
Hmm.
second one, um, transitions came more naturally, a little less redundancies, but a little more
Hmm.
ownership of the characters. And they led me
Okay.
in places I didn't want to be at all.
Oh, okay. All right. That's how our imagination goes with us, and it
Absolutely.
takes us somewhere. And it's like, oh, my character could go from this country to that country, and meet this hot guy, and and have a life, and then she goes back to her life in the country that she's from, and then she's like, well, this life is kind of boring now, since she's been to the other place, and so that's what our imaginations take us. So
Mhm.
is that the essence of that, the second book? Is that the essence?
The essence of the second book is the first, both are romance, contemporary romance. The first one
Yeah.
is discovery of romance for a workaholic woman, basically, with bad
Okay.
and good.
Okay.
And in the
Uh-huh.
sequel, I always want to surprise the reader. As a reader myself, I'm very tough. I need to be surprised. So I was always
Okay. Hmm.
wondering, what don't people expect now? So the
Hmm.
second book, well, at the end of the first book, I announced the love
Hmm.
story ends at some point, but we know
Okay.
there she remarries. To whom
Uh-huh.
we don't know what happens. We just know there's an
Hmm.
accident or something, and
Uh-huh.
those events bring us into darkest places, but we need to go
Hmm.
in the dark place to find the light again afterward.
Okay, okay. Is it possible that you could read us an excerpt from both of your books?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for asking. And I will
You're welcome.
show you the cover and introduce a character who's not associated to someone. This is New Beginning in Vancouver. That snake
Okay.
here is the only one
Hmm.
snake you find in Martinique. It's the
Okay.
Bothrop, and it's a
Okay.
mean and deadly one. But that's the nickname for any bad person or any bad behavior at some point in the
Oh,
book.
okay.
But I will
Oh,
not
okay.
go through the bad one. I will be reading um, something lighter then. Huh. Let's start with that. Casting a tender gaze around the shop, my baby. I confirm there's only one client left. Another busy day is about to end at my Salon Blossom Flowers and Teas. Thanks heavens for that. This thought makes me start reflecting about the life transformation I've achieved since I'm moving to Vancouver 2 years ago. I've been blessed, able to realize my goals of quitting my previous career to open my own business, just like I had hoped for. No, dreamt of. When I took that leap of faith by leaving Montreal to come west, fulfilling my purpose of exploring life.
Okay. Okay.
So
That
that's
sounds
really the
beautiful.
context of that first story of
Okay.
Maxime's. Her name is Maxime. Um,
Hmm.
story.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And
That sounds very, really interesting. I have to get it. I'm going to, uh, 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 I will talk about that in a minute. But can you continue with reading the second
sure,
excerpt?
sure.
Hmm.
So let me get something for the sequel. So we see that
Okay.
first one is flowers and teas and the
Uh huh.
snake. A little more
Hmm.
snake, and then the
Uh
tea
huh.
become wine, and the flowers are still
Yes.
there.
Okay. Okay.
So let me see. Yeah, Gramps might have been a fierce businessman, but when it came to family, he wasn't just uncompromising. He was a shield for his own. I recall him telling me several times, Max, you're one of us, the Smith you know as. Our family is the one of our rare sources of joy since, yes, Gabrielle's accident. His stroke and its consequences are the events that have shaken our blissful dynamic. Gone, the openness and the ban of taboos. Gone, the joyful karaoke evenings with the kids. Gone, Amy and Joe's pretend quarrels. Gone, Gabrielle enjoyment in arbitrating them. Gone, Gabrielle's favorite cocktail of mirth and family. He's always been so proud of and excited about us acting as the shelter and fortress of the Smith Eunoias, wrapped up in his justified sense of injustice, suffering from losing his valued role of protector and pacifier of the Smith Eunoias family. Gabriel no
Mhm.
longer cares about creating good memories for his children, for me, and even less for himself.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that sounds kind of like I gotta dive into this book, like to really, to soak it up.
Yeah.
And it piques your curiosity very, very much so that yes, you have to, go and purchase the book and say, okay, look, all right, I gotta deep dive and start reading this right now, because you've done a marvelous job with your comp with the how can I say it, with your word placement and the way it comes together. It's very smooth and it's very kind of relaxing to it's really relaxing to read, and I greatly thank you. So are your books available now on are they available now?
Absolutely, both are now available. Thank you for asking. The most common way is to get them from other Amazon. They're available as well in Barnes and Nobles, Goodreads.
Okay.
Um,
Mhm.
but from my website, you will see other links and other options to get them. Thank you for
Oh,
asking.
okay. All right. And it is very important that we support the authors that come on Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. You can find both of her books on Amazon, Goodreads, and Barnes and Nobles, and her website. And it is very important that we, so do you see yourself writing any more other books?
Yes, I considered those as a set of three books. So I'm currently working on the third one, and it's tough when you know you will have to grieve that story at the end of this one because I can go
Yes,
further
yes.
in time for those. But I would love to keep writing, absolutely. Those.
Okay. So and it is so much so that, are you a traditional author or self-published author?
I am self published. I was lucky enough to find here in BC a company who helps self published authors organize the project of publishing. So I work with them and tell well. But yeah, I'm self publishing. I'm working on the translation in French as well because my family keep asking. And for that
Mhm.
route, I don't know yet if I'll be more traditional or self published. It's another reality.
Okay. Do you plan on turning your books into audiobooks?
I would love to. Absolutely. I've been told by the editor since the very first one that I write like if I was writing a script. So I think
Okay.
that the audio experience might be something else as well.
Okay. Well, Miss Mariel, it has been an honor and a privilege, and to have you here on Authors Excerpt Sunday podcast. And if you have any more books, when you put your books out, you come back and let us know, and sit down and talk with us and give us the uh the uh the the good information about your up and coming books as well. And and the thing is, so do you have any events set up where your audience can come and join you?
I just had one past one, and I'm working with a group called Black Women Connect Vancouver to organize something else. And I plan to have a few ones over the summer as well. So that will be coming, and it will be announced on my social media. People can find me on Facebook and Instagram as Marielle De Vassoigne author.
Oh, okay. Well, Miss Marielle De Vassoigne, it is very been an honor and a privilege for you to be on Authors Excerpt Sunday Club podcast. I got so many things going on, so um and it has been an honor and a privilege. And come back when you have your next book, okay, darling?
Thank you so much, and thank you for supporting an independent authors and giving me a chance to share this adventure. I will absolutely be back.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay. Is all right. You're welcome, and you have a blessed day, darling. Okay.
Likewise. Likewise.
All right.
Okay.
Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.
I'm just trying to okay.
Authors. Have you written a book? Are you an experienced author or a new author? Well, I've got news for you. Authors Excerpt Sunday is the perfect start to growing your audience awareness with the public. Authors Excerpt Sunday has interview spots available in many forms. Live broadcasting done on all social media outlets, television, and podcasting. We would love to help you tell the world about your book. You can reach us at I am Sharice at ShariceNJohnsonMoore.com or 724-570-1153 for further details. And let's tell the world about your book.